This is, look, honestly, this is bipartisan. It's not a partisan issue. I know Republicans always talk about Pelosi, and I do too, a lot, because honestly, it's a good example to use for a variety of things, not just that. Reading the bills before you pass them. Who would have thought that would be some? So that's fine. But let's just understand, this is a bipartisan ailment. This is not just Democrats. And I think it's important that as Republican, you're willing to stand up and say, you know what, we need to clean both houses up there. We've got problems on both sides of the aisle. Same with term limits. You know, there's not a single issue that spans partisan, gender, race, anything cleavages, then everyone wants it, right? It doesn't matter you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, and because people realize there's a problem on both sides of the aisle with the incentives that have been created. So, and the thing is I think when you do reform like what the Congresswoman wants, what happens is like most people that get elected actually want to do the right thing. I think that there is some idealism, but man, you get up there, it's like a meat grinder. And they just beat that idealism out of you, and it just like, you know, and so you're just left. And so I think, and people follow the incentives. And it's like, well, I'll go along to get along. And I think some of the stuff with the stock stuff is like people are doing it. And so that's kind of here. I don't know that even people are intending to go to Congress for that. But I think once you get up there, I guess it's like, you know, you catch Potomac fever or something. It's just people change, right? That was the one thing I used to appreciate when I wasn't there long enough, but like I come back and like people would say, you didn't change. Thank you for not changing. Like the same person, you go in, you come out. And that's important for that. But I think this is really good and it'll be there. And then the other thing I'll just say on a different subject is we are looking very seriously at, and not necessarily as me, I mean, I'll be supportive, but it's through the Attorney General's office that is able to bring these things, to be able to bring potentially a state case against Nicolas Maduro. You know, he was obviously very involved with drugs. He was obviously very involved with bringing drugs, particularly to Florida and across the board. But you know what he would also do, and this is not in the federal indictment in New York, he would empty his prisons and send them to America across the border. And we'd end up with some of these people in Florida, Tren de Aragua gang members that were in prison there, and he did that. And so to me, that is a very hostile act. So we're looking at the statutes to see, obviously we've got robust narcotic statutes, but certainly on that importing the criminal element, because, you know, it's funny. I mean, remember a few years ago, we helped with transportation to Martha's Vineyard, very nice place. And, you know, you had a plane load of people that were in the country illegally. And it turned out, so this is, I think, probably like, you know, the fall of 22. So I was running for re-election. And most of them were Venezuelans. And the media was saying, oh, how dumb the governor, all the Venezuelans, Americans in Miami, they're going to hate it, all this stuff. Why is he doing? And so, you know, and I didn't think it was right, but you never know, right? So I'm down in Doral like the next week, and these guys are high-fiving me. Because they said Maduro is sending people to the border who should not be in this country. And so they knew better than anyone what was going on. So the narcotics, the gang, but also the immigration and what was done to do that, to put people at risk. And we've had people in Florida that have been victimized by Tren de Aragua gang members. And many of those people likely would never have even been able to come here, even with Biden's open border, had Maduro not been releasing people from prison. So we're going to look very seriously at that. Okay, back there.